Hi my dear readers, this is Simona Rich. I moved, as you know, probably if you follow me, to my farmhouse, so I have a lot of work to renew it. I'm actually holding this camera. I don't know where I put that camera stand. I can't find it. So in this video I'm going to share with you very important information about how to arrange your house according to astrology so that it's beneficial for you. You can, for example, be more productive if you work in the corner where Mercury influence is, and you can mainly stay in a place where ascendant line runs. So basically, if you arrange your house or apartment or room according to astrology, it just will make it easier for you to function. And for example, Venus line you can use to stay with your loved one. You can cook where the moon line runs. You can install, if this is a new house, local drainage system where Pluto line runs. You can keep antique items you want to last where Saturn line runs. You can keep your money and other precious belongings in place affected by Jupiter line. So basically, opportunities are endless once you understand the system, how to do it. Okay, so now I will show you how to do it. So as you can see, we have a Leonardo Dicaprio birth chart. Just checked where he lives now. He lives in the Sunset Strip. Since he moved just a little bit away from where he was born, it's going to be just a few degrees difference. But since I'm showing you how to do it in astrotheme.com, I'm not going to use my astrological software, but just keep his details as they are. But if you have moved and you live somewhere far from your home, in order to do this local chart, you need to firstly change your birthplace. So you have to enter your original birth details just with the change of your birthplace. So here you would have to enter the changed birthplace, the changed place where you are living now, because then you will see that the chart will be a little bit different, the angles will be a little bit different, and this is important. But I'm going to use his original chart, and it's this one. So now if I head to astro.com, and again I have Leonardo DiCaprio details saved, I can just check if they are correct. That's all correct. And now firstly we can check how his current place affects him. So it's already marked that LA is in this place, and we can see that here he has Pluto line and ascendant and descendant line. We can check here, we can see that that's because Pluto is close to his ascendant. So this is a very charged place for him, and he probably feels very well in this place. So I'm sure he feels really good here. He has life-changing experiences and deep experiences and experiences that really transform him, but this is in his element because Pluto is in his first house. So that's actually a good place for him. You see, people intuitively move where they are supposed to be. But this is not the map that I would like to share with you today. It's just good to see in general what are the trends, how the planets affect you. But we are now looking at the local map. And this is going to be here. If you enter this address without these other letters and numbers into your browser, you will get this local space map. And And this is the one we are looking for. So again, I have Leonardo DiCaprio details saved here on astro.com, and I just need to pick him from the list of the people that I have saved. Press go, and we have his local space map. And again, as I said, if you need to get your local space map, you have to enter your details accordingly to where you live now. So enter normal birth details, but change the place of birth to where you are located now, and then you will get the correct map. So you can see that we can zoom in really well, and also we can change the place of this marker to where he is now. You can actually zoom in even more, but I guess my because I'm in a village place, my internet is not as fast, but you can see it's loading now, and it can go actually even if you know, for example, where Leonardo DiCaprio lives, you can place this marker there over his house and zoom in into his house, and you will see the influences. Since I'm not familiar with this area, I'm unable to do it unless I have the coordinates, and I don't even know whether I can enter coordinates here. So for example, shall we say that he lives here, exactly where the marker is? If you have astrological software, then you can actually enter exact coordinates of your house, and then you don't need to make any adjustments here. But here it's not possible, so but you can also just adjust this marker and it's going to be the same. So for example, let's say he lives here. Then we just drag this marker to this building, Ronald Reagan building. So is that a hospital? I don't know. Anyway, so you can see that now it's over that building, the marker is there, and we have to find the center of the building. So let's see, this is one building, right? So we find its center, we measure where its center is, and we place the marker in the center, and from there we can see that all the rays radiate from that point, and then we know where each planet's line is, and we can plan what to put in those areas, what to do in those areas accordingly. You can of course overlay this map over your house plan. If you already have a house plan, just make sure you're aligning the house plans north south to this map's north south and other directions. And you can use different kinds of paint software to make this this local space map transparent, or to remove only the background so that only the lines remain, if you know how to do it, and then overlay it over your house plan, and then you will get a even more accurate understanding of where planetary lines run, because it will be a clearer plan of your building. Leonardo DiCaprio's chart is very focused. It's the first quarter of the horoscope that's most busy. That's why it's not distributed all over the place, but the rays are focused. And you can see that firstly we have the original planetary rays, and then their reflections. So astrologers are not sure whether the reflections, which are noted as oppositions here, would have the same strength, but they assume that probably they have less strength, but they still operate. But these are the main forces operating in his assumed house, so he would have to be careful what he's putting in those places, because for example Neptune line is good for medicines and even water, but then it's also a corrupting influence. So for example, leaving food there may make it go off faster. And Pluto line is good for sewage system, for example, things underground like a basement or something like this. And Venus line is good for places where you keep musical instruments, where you have fun, where you stay with people that you love. Sun line is, and again, here is such a concentrated chart, such a focused chart, so it's most likely that in your case these lines will be all over the place, so you will be able to much better manage the house accordingly. But here in his situation it's all in one place. So the sun line gives more importance to what those things are that are placed there. It's good for strengthening self-identity if you stay there. Mars line is good for keeping metal items and having a fireplace, for example. Mercury line is good for study, the place where you're studying, where you're writing, where you're communicating. Uranus line is good for electrical things and gadgets. Ascendant line is good just for you to stay most of the time. The moon line is good for making food, to have a kitchen there, and also, as you can see, the lines extend beyond the house into the whole world. So they also show good paths for you to take. So for example, moon line, this is the moon's path, and here for example it's good to have a garden as a result of the moon's path being there. And then Jupiter line is very important because it's a protective and expansive influence, so it's good to keep personal belongings, expensive things and money, the things that you want protected and multiplying or growing in your life. And now when it comes to the paths that I mentioned of these planets, it's good to take paths, if you have a choice, of planets that are unafflicted in your chart, especially if they are good planets like Venus, Sun or Jupiter. So this, if you take those paths to go to work or to go for a walk, it's likely that you will have much more positive experiences. Whilst if you take paths that are, for example, Saturn path, and for him it's for Leonardo DiCaprio, Saturn path is this one. This is going to have much more obstacles, or Pluto path. And Mars path can be even dangerous if you have afflicted Mars in your chart, so it's dangerous, for example, to drive because you may get into accidents. But when it comes to the Saturn line, I forgot to mention it, in your house plan where it falls, this is a place where it's good to keep wooden items, earth items like clay, for example. And it's a place that is good for antiques. Sometimes people choose to keep this space totally empty because Saturn gives obstructions, and it's also Saturn gives permanence, so it's good to keep things that you want lasting. However, I wouldn't keep my money there because Saturn also has reducing influence. So you can also, very interesting, and another thing that you can do with this map is that you can firstly check where you lived in the past and make your chart according to that by entering that birthplace, the birthplace you lived at, the previous birthplace, into the chart, into the details of which you're making a chart. And then you can check the direction from that place to your current place of living, and then check if that direction falls on some kind of planetary line. And if you're following your destiny, it's likely that north node direction will be aligned to that place. Or if, for example, Venus direction is aligned to that place, it could be that you're traveling or moving for pleasure. If Saturn is involved, it could be that that move will be full of obstacles, especially if your Saturn is afflicted in your chart. If it's in a good condition, it will actually can be a good influence, not like a very positive, but it can give permanence and assurance and so forth. So as you can see, there are many things you can do with this local space map. You can check where you have to put certain items in your home, where to work, where to relax, where to install bathrooms, where to have bedrooms. You can decide all this based on this local space chart, and then you can see the lines of influence extending beyond the house into the whole world. So you can plan, for example, where you can travel to have a good time. If your Neptune, if your Jupiter or Venus are unafflicted, choose those directions and you will for sure have a lovely time whilst on holiday. And you can choose where to go for a walk according to those charts in order to avoid problems and obstacles and just negative experiences. So this chart reveals so much. It can definitely make your life easier. I wanted to share with you this chart for a long time, and finally I was able to do it. This is so beneficial. You can definitely avoid many of the obstacles in life by arranging your house according to astrology. You will definitely have less obstacles and you will know which paths to take. And I'm not telling, of course, that your life will totally change and you will have no obstacles. Of course, you will have obstacles, but fewer of them. So it's good to make arrangements as such so that the life is easier. So I hope this was useful to you. Just a small personal update. As you can see, I have so many things to do in this house. I bought an old farmhouse, so I'm going to slowly renew it, but every single day I can't work on it. One day is dedicated to astrology, another day is dedicated to work, but this is the second day dedicated to astrology because I need to finish one astrological assessment, and I'm making this video for you, and then after I finish everything, I will start working yet again. So this is a busy time for me, but I really wanted to make this video because it's so beneficial to know such things. I wanted to make this video for a long time. So finally I found some time to make it. So I'm so happy, and I hope that you will use this information because for sure it can make your life easier. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely day. Take care.